Welcome to Project U 2.2, the podcast where life and leadership meet endurance. I'm Greg Helmer, joined by my wife and partner in life and work, Carrie. Each week, we dive deep into the mindset, the neuroscience, and the real grit it takes to stop drifting and start living with clarity, confidence, and endurance. This is about real life, real struggles, and real growth. So lace up, it's time to live with endurance. As we step into today's message, I want to start where this week began, with Carrie's episode, her conversation with her 100-year-old self. Hit me in a way only a few messages ever do. She didn't just talk about reflection, she talked about reconnection with the person we've always been, with the person we are becoming, and with the wiser voice inside us that we rarely slow down long enough to hear. And before I go anywhere else, I just want to say this. Carrie, I am so proud of you, how you show up. Your courage, your honesty, your vulnerability. And that's why people listen. You live the messages that you teach. And today, I want to follow your lead by sharing what my future self is teaching me. When I picture my future self, he's somewhere in his late 80s, early 90s, still strong in spirit, still stubborn in the right ways. His face is lined from years of loving, leading, and learning. His hands are slower, but his heart is fuller. He's sitting on that porch of our cabin in northern Michigan, overlooking a small lake that my uncle dammed up in the 1960s, looking out at the beautiful white pines, the birch trees, and the magnificent color of the red maple trees, with sunlight cutting across our property, grandkids running around somewhere nearby, Carrie and I both sipping on a morning coffee. And when today's version of me walks up, he gives me this look, the same look Carrie described, the look that says, "Buddy, you're running so hard. Take a breath. You're missing the good stuff." So I sit next to him and I ask the question we should all ask more often. What do I need to know right now? And he answers with a kind of clarity only age and wisdom can give. The first thing he tells me is this: Greg, you won't remember the pressure. You'll remember the people. He reminds me that the deadlines, the expectations, the stress of work and life, the weight I carry today, those things fade. They don't matter the way I think they do. What sticks are the moments. The nights sitting around the great room with Carrie, with the fireplace on, the calls with my dad, the hunting trips with my dad, the times my kids came home needing advice, the speeches where someone felt seen, the days maintaining the hunting property with my family members, the laughter of grandkids I haven't even met yet. He tells me not to let urgency rob me of pure joy, because at the end of life, the pressure dissolves, but people remain. And then he laughs, the kind of laugh older men have when they know something you don't. And he shakes his head. Greg, you were way harder on yourself than you ever needed to be. He reminds me of the nights I replayed different conversations, the days I felt like I wasn't enough, the moments I measured myself against expectations no one actually asked me to live up to, the 10, 12, 14-hour work days, grinding it out. And he says, The world didn't need you to be perfect, Greg. It just needed you to be present. Just like Carrie's 100-year-old self said, our kids don't need the flawless version of us. Our teams don't need the untouchable version of us. Our spouses, they don't need the polished version. They need us, steady, human, open, vulnerable, and I'm here, I'm present. And then he gets quieter. He leans in like he's handing me something heavy but good. Greg, most of the things you feared never happened. And even the storms that did, Greg, you survived them. He reminds me that every overwhelming chapter eventually becomes wisdom, growth, strength. Every hard thing God walked me through ended up shaping me in ways I didn't see at the time. And then he says, Greg, fear wastes your strength. Trust multiplies it. And he'll remind me of the book I authored, titled Lead with Endurance. He'll say, lead and live with endurance, Greg. Do what you say. As we keep talking, he shifts to something deeper. Slow down, he says. You're living the moments you'll soon call memories. And that one hits because he's right. The run I take today will one day be a run I physically can't take. The conversations with my 3 sons today will be the stories I cling to later. The evenings sitting with Carrie, laughing, dreaming, planning, reflecting on our workday, talking about the kids will become golden in my mind. You see, every season feels ordinary when you're living it until you look back and realize it was extraordinary. And right when I think we are done, he gives me one last message, one that feels like legacy. Greg, your purpose was never about position or title. It was always about impact. He tells me the impact wasn't in the titles or the buildings or the school districts or communities I served. It wasn't in the microphones. It wasn't in the applause or the credentials, the awards. The real impact was, and always will be, in the lives I lifted. Legacy is human. Legacy is relational. Legacy is love in motion. And before he goes inside, he puts his hand on my shoulder. The same way that I've done to my sons when something truly matters. And he says, Greg, enjoy your life. You spent so many years building, striving, pushing, succeeding. But joy is not a luxury. It's fuel. And remember, you don't need to change everything. Just be here. Be grateful. Be gentle. And let yourself live the moments you used to pray for. And then he smiles that warm, knowing smile and walks away with a whisper. Trust in God. He will take care of all your worries. So here's my challenge to you this week. Man, I'm a little bit emotional. Try doing this. That's my challenge. Write a letter from your 100-year-old self to the version of you living today. Ask them what matters. Ask what doesn't. Ask what they would tell you to stop worrying about. Ask what they would tell you to savor. Ask who they would tell you to love better or love more. Ask what moment they would want you to be fully present for today. When you borrow the wisdom of your future self, your present self, it becomes unstoppable. That's my challenge. This has been Project U 2.2, where we don't quit, we don't coast, and we don't surrender. If today's message resonated, please share it with someone who needs a reminder that life is happening right now in the small, ordinary, beautiful moments. And don't forget, every Wednesday at 6:22 a.m., Carrie brings the heart of this project. Until next time, stay strong, stay real, and keep living with endurance. See you at 6:22.